Half of Bamfield dreaming about her.
Do you know, I think he has got a bit of a look of her. Same big eyes. Do you see it, boy?
I think I'm going to ask your new housemaster to have a serious chat with you.
Oh, stop ragging.
Or perhaps I'd better warn Winterbourne.
I say, Spattles!
Thank you, boy. Off sketching.
Yes, boy.
Well, lovely day for it. Off you go, then. You look like a frightened rabbit. All his mater's fault, of course. Who shall find me a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies.
I say, boy.
Hmm?
What's her price, then?
Who?
Rubies.
Yes, very good, brother, very good. But a woman is only a woman. Remember that. But a good cigar's a smoke. Come on, let's go. Sir, it's £half a crown to Winterbourne's mater in a bathing suit. The Barnaby's next head of Havelocks.
Let me have men about me that are fit, eh? Mind you, that's the way to go, in full spate. One moment bawling out some poor little toad for bad work, and the next moment knocking on the gate. Well, I dare say I shall be hearing the recall myself before too long.
Oh, nonsense. You see us all out.
No, I'm getting near to retiring age, you know.
But you go on after 65. The governors will ask you to stay on.
Well, better the devil they know, eh? No. Get a comfortable little parish somewhere. Preaching sermons to a few old widows with wooden legs, that'll suit Algy well enough. Before long, you know, this school's going to need a livelier man than me. The average boy's changing. Like everything else, they'll soon be demanding more than Latin and Greek and a bit of pie jaw. And it'll be up to young fellas like you to provide it. I'm beginning to feel a bit like a dinosaur already.
Oh.
I'm serious. Now, come on. More important things than that to talk about. Now, who's looking after Cordwainer's dog?
Towser, oh, we got him, sir.
Excellent. How is he? Eating his dinner and chasing sticks?
Being chased more like. Some of the boys are giving him a terrible run around.
Just what he needs. And what about you?
What do you mean?
What about your life, man? What about your life?
Well, it's fine.
Fine, is it? How long have you been at Bamfield, David?
3 years.
3 years, eh? And you've got a good honours degree behind you now, and you're writing a book as if you hadn't got enough to do. Margaret of Anjou, is it?
Yes, that's right.
You know what you are? You're a man to be reckoned with. How much longer are you going to give us, do you think?
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean.
Well, I mean, I'd have thought you'd be off to better things before now. Why haven't you been applying for house jobs at other schools?
Well, we've been very happy here. You mean you think I ought to go somewhere else?
I mean, I think you should have a bit more ambition. Trusting family man like you and all that. Who do you fancy for Cordwainer's house?
Oh, I suppose I thought Barnaby. He hasn't got a house yet, and he's been here a good few years.
Quite right.
Oh, Carter, I'm sure he'd like it. Havelock's is much larger than his house.
Yes, very true. And what about Powlett Jones?
Me?
If you won't go, I suppose I'll have to do something for you here. I'm going to take a chance on you. Of course, you're far too young. The older men won't like it a bit. So don't you let me down.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, my goodness me. I've got 2 sets of parents waiting to see me. I must dash, David. I must dash.
You don't seem particularly thrilled.
You haven't told me anything about it.
Well, it's an extra 100 a year.
100? All for us? We'll all have fur coats.
Well, I thought maybe, a car.
A car? Oh, yes, that is a good idea. Where's the catch, then?
No catch. Big house. More responsibility.
Such as rescuing boys from burning buildings, you mean?
But I don't suppose we'll have another fire for a year or two, at least. Still, we do have to be on call 24 hours a day.
But woe betide anyone who calls us, eh?
I didn't notice old Cordwainer losing too much sleep over his charges. We'll have to give it 5 years, though, Beth. Algy'll expect that.
Ah.
Think you can stand it?
If you can.
Come in. Ah, Boyer, come in, sit down. Just put it down somewhere, Boyer.
Seems strange to see you here, sir.
Yes, well, you're going to have to get used to it. Now then, Boyer, any guesses as to why I wanted to see you?
Felt like a chat, sir?
I've had a chat with Mr. Barnaby.
Oh.
I'd just like you to tell me if the night before last you borrowed a motorbike, disguised yourself in a false beard and moustache, rode to the Maltster's Arms and drank a half a pint of beer there in the presence of Mr. Barnaby.
Not quite, sir.
Well?
It was a pint of beer. I bought half a pint for the landlord. It was a bet, sir.
What do you suppose prompted you to this idiotic performance?
I'm not quite sure, sir. I was very elated at having passed a maths test at last, and I'm afraid I've always had a tendency to exhibitionism.
Exhibitionism? Don't you quote your fancy Freudian words at me! I could get you kicked out for this, do you know that? Where do you think you're going?
No, sir. I just thought I ought to be standing up.
In the corner, I suppose. Oh, sit down, you idiot.
Thank you, sir.
How long have you been here, Boyer?
Over 6 years, sir.
Longer than me. And I was hoping to give you some responsibility this year.
Does that mean I've been passed over, sir?
Well, would you blame me?
No, sir. I was just thinking, sir, perhaps we could make some sort of bargain?
What sort of bargain?
Well, sir, if you could overlook this last incident, I could promise you, sir, that it will be the last.
Oh, it will, Boyer.
And I'd back you up to the hilt, sir. You see, the trouble is, when you've got a reputation like mine, it's a bit difficult to stop over the night. The chaps sort of expect it of me, if you know what I mean.
Then the chaps are going to be very disappointed in you from now on, aren't they?
Oh, no, sir. I mean, yes, sir. I mean...
Oh, just
I can
shut up
guarantee-
and listen, Boyer. I'm going to take a gamble on you. I'm going to make you my house captain. And by God, you better not let me down. I think I can get Mr. Harris to confirm it, but everyone else in this building will think I'm completely off my head. So it's up to you to prove them wrong. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Well, of course, I confirmed it, thank you. Now, you've got to back the fellow up, but really, Ellie, I mean, of all the mad choices, poor old Judy Cordwainer has been spinning in his grave like a top. I'd give anything to see his face if he could hear about it, eh? Havelock's house in the tender care of a bolshie and a lunatic.
And Boyer's not a lunatic, my dear.
Oh, don't you think so, dear? Well, that's very reassuring.
No, I see him much more as a member of the criminal classes. Algy?
Yes, what?
Well, you know, cashiered by his regiment for gambling debts, or gun running, or one of those people who hang round the fringes of the members' bars at the smarter racecourses.
Oh, Ellie.
Oh, I know a great deal more than you think. You seem to think I had no existence before I met you and disappeared forever into pedagogical obscurity. I used to mix a good deal in horsey circles of the better sort.
Oh, yeah.
And young Boyer was able to give me a very good tip for last year's Cambridgeshire.
Oh, God.
Yes, I think you make an excellent house captain, if he can be restrained from pawning the school cross-country cup.
Come on.